My name is Čejen Černić Čanak. I am director of SANDBAG DAM, and our film will have premiere in Berlinale Generation 14+ program.
Evo ga ide! Jebo, mat!
Hej.
Bra.
Sućut.
Bra, Frank.
Stari je bil dobar čovjek.
Hi and welcome to the 39th Teddy Award. My name is Jan-Felix Wuttig and today I'm here with Čejen Černić Čanak to talk about her film SANDBAG DAM. Čejen, so good to have you here.
It's so nice to be here, thank you.
SANDBAG DAM is a film about two teenage boys who have been separated for a longer while and now they find themselves back in the same village and they sort of have to rethink their relationship. Could you tell me what brought you the idea for the film?
The screenplay was written by Tomislav Zajec, a Croatian writer, and he started doing on this story 12 years ago. Wow. Yeah. So he and my producer, Ankica Jurić-Tilić, were trying to find the right director for this story. And then one day Ankica told me, and it didn't happening, you know. And then one day Ankica told me, you should read this. This is maybe something for you. Mm-hmm. And I have question marks over my head because at the time I was writing something else, and I was completely in that another story. And in that point, I wasn't aware, I was asking myself before I read it, how can I contribute to this story and what will I find some challenges for me? So I thought, okay, I will read, but I will probably said thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. And next, what is happening? I read it in one breath. Yeah. I was crying for half an hour or something like that. And I just felt the huge impulse that this is definitely my film and I really have to make this story to come alive. Yeah, so I fell in love. It was love on first read. And I'm super emotional from the very beginning of this process, and for me, this process is 6 years long. Wow. Yeah, because yeah.
So the writer wrote it 12 years ago, and then 6 years you two. Oh wow.
Yeah, because we couldn't find financing. You know, we had some struggles about that. I had a baby in the meanwhile, so. We have few reasons why it took it so long, but primarily it is because of financing.
Yeah. Do you remember a specific scene in the script which convinced you? Like you were reading it and like, wow.
No, it was just a feeling, you know, because all characters were so alive, you know. They were so familiar to me, and this love story, this forbidden love story, is something that I have experience in with forbidden love stories. So I just felt it, you know. It was so emotional, and it drew me in so easily that the whole thing was just something that I fell in love with.
Maybe something for viewers out there who are not quite familiar with queer love in the Croatian countryside. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, of course. In Croatian cinema, we don't have much queer films, you know. It is not the topic that we can openly talk about. So this film is very important for Croatia. And all of us, from the very beginning, we felt a huge responsibility to make this film really good, you know, because it will mean a lot to many young people in Croatia. And I had open audition, and around 300 people applied, and I was struggling to find the lead actors. Andrea, who is playing Slaven, I find him very early and I fell in love with him, and he was my Slaven, but I was struggling to find Marko. Some young men, when I started auditioning, they were writing to me that I would love to be in the film, but please do not consider me for the main role.
Oh, okay, okay. So that was different. That was difficult to do. Okay. On that point, I think that Love and Andrea, your two main actors, are incredible in their roles. Like they have so much screen chemistry and they work so well together. How did you work with them to establish that kind of relationship?
First, I have to mention I had another actor for Love's role, for Marko, and I gave him the role, and after 1 week he called me and he said, "I'm sorry, I cannot do it. It is the pressure is too hard for me," and I was heartbroken because from in that point I saw almost all young people in Croatia, you know, who were interested in acting. So I thought, where would I find my actor? And Love didn't apply because they are both student in academy, acting student, and there is a rule that they cannot work for first 2 years. They cannot shoot nothing. So Love didn't apply, and I came to the theater to watch a play, and I saw him. He was walking, and I looked at him. This could be Marko. And I called him, and he came to my audition, and he was definitely Marko. And we worked more than 7 months.
Wow. Like just the two of them, or just the entire cast working with each other?
Entire cast was, I worked with them maybe 3 months, but with Love and Andrea more than 7 months, because it was really important that we get to know each other as much as possible, and we talked a lot about everything. We had a lot of improvisations. So it was very important to create the safe environment for them, you know, and we built a really beautiful relationship, and it was the crucial, I think.
Very much so, I think a lot of what the film has to say also kind of reflects in the relationship with the parents.
Yes.
Specifically Marko's parents, I feel, because they are quite... You can't really place what the father thinks because he's very quiet, and the mother seems to, you know, in one scene, which is, by the way, very intense. It's an incredible scene. It made me very angry.
Good. But, I'm glad to hear that.
But it comes to the shore what she thinks and how she feels. What was important to you in that relationship with the parents? Specifically Marko's parents. You know,
I really, I'm glad to hear that it made you angry, but if we, what I'm hoping is that when audience see the film, that everyone will be able to understand everyone's position, because I think Vancha, mother, she's doing best she can, you know, she's acting from the fear, from fear of unknown, and she feels powerless, and when we feel powerless, then we, then we express that usually with some physical or verbal violence. Yeah, because we don't have tools, you know, to handle. So this mother, there are a lot in Croatia, in other countries also, there are a lot of parents like this.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And Marko's father is kind of a contrast, because he keeps quiet.
Yes.
And at one point in the film, he shows a different side to himself, right?
Yes.
So that's quite a different kind of mood. You also, Marko is taking part in a arm wrestling contest. Yes. I kind of felt that it was an interesting way of showing like this very male sort of a contest,
showing off,
a championship. What did that mean to you?
Tomislav Zajec put it in the script, and I didn't know it is so popular sport. Yes, we have clubs in Croatia with arm wrestling, and he had preparations in these clubs, and he was really good. Yeah. He don't have big muscles, but he had great technique. So when we shoot this scene of tournament, it was a real fight. So it is it is male power. It is it was very important for me to show that this masculinity, you know, and this environment is male dominant. Yeah. So it was important for me to show that side. Yeah.
And I kind of felt it also gave Marko some agency, because you know it seems like that sometimes people equate queer with a certain type of weakness.
Yes.
And that he is able to pull through, and that he's, you know, proud of his strength and proud of his body. That gives him something else. And another part that is kind of outside the relationship is the flood, which is rising, and I took that as a kind of symbol of confrontation.
Yes.
So that was also what it was.
Yes. Yeah. In Croatia, English title is SANDBAG DAM. In Croatian, it is ZEČJI NASIP. There is no synonym in English, but ZEČJI NASIP will mean literally it would mean rabbit sandbag dam. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because these bags with sand they are building it on the height where rabbit can jump. So that's why we also have the rabbit in the film. Yeah. The idea was, you know. It's happening parallel, how Marko's emotions are developing, so the threat of the flood is more intense, and the idea was to show that you know, while the people are building sandbag dams around their homes, trying to protect their homes from the flood, from the water, Marko is trying to build one around himself. Yeah. But water always finds a way, just like emotions. Yeah. So that is why,
Čejen, I want to thank you so much for the interview. You. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I wish you all the best for the premiere, which is tonight.
Yes, it is tonight.
And I wish you a beautiful rest of the Berlinale.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.